Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I will be reviewing the Patek Philippe Aquanaut reference 5167-1A-001. The date sweep seconds with black dial and stainless steel body 40 millimeters. I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the Aquanaut, then tell you about where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Aquanauts, what you could do to make this Aquanaut look like a rubber strap Aquanaut, and then tell you about the case bezel dial bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with the history of the Aquanaut. The Aquanaut came out, well, before we start with that, we should probably say the predecessor to the Aquanaut is the Nautilus. The Nautilus came out in 1976. That's approximately 50 years ago. It was created by Gerald Genta. And then in the 90s, around 1997 or so, Patek Philippe decided that they wanted to make a sportier version to appeal to younger generation and have something more sporty. So they wanted to put it on a rubber strap, and they came up with the Aquanaut. And coincidentally, right around the same time, AP was coming out with their Offshore, which is a successor, or if they offshoot, if you will, to the Royal Oak. Also a watch on the rubber strap. And since AP and Patek are the top two watchmakers and are fierce competitors of one another, it would only make sense that if AP released a rubber strap version of their Royal Oak, that Patek would release a rubber strap version of their Nautilus. And so there you have it. That was the birth of the Aquanaut. Now that was since almost 30 years ago now, since it's 1997, we're now in 2025. And since then, the Aquanaut has gone on to make not a ton of variations like the Offshore, but quite a few of them. And this one is the most basic. It is just time and date only. 3 hands, minute, hour, second, and a date. That's it. Non-complicated watch. Still a very beautiful watch, but a very non-complicated watch. And so the Aquanaut came out in 1997. It was called the 5167. And then they did another relaunch at the 10-year anniversary, which is what you see here, a 5167A. Now this one's a 5167 1A because it has a bracelet, but the bracelet and the rubber strap are actually the same, only one has a rubber strap, one has a bracelet. And I'll show you how you can change that. So if you don't want to watch this whole video and you want to know if you can change the strap, the answer is yes. You can't do that on some of the other things such as Nautiluses, on their moon phases, the connection doesn't fit, but on this one you can. So you absolutely can. Okay, so this reference, 5167A or -1A, was created in 2007. So that makes it almost 20 years old now that we're in 2025. In fact, the version that you're looking at here with a bracelet was discontinued in 2025. So what does that mean? Well, it might mean that they might eventually discontinue the rest of the 5167s in place of something different. So I'm sure they'll replace it with something because it's a time and date only. It's one of their base models for the Aquanaut. Okay, at any rate, let's move on here to where this watch stands in the lineup. Now, the Aquanaut, as I just told you, is the little brother, if you will, of the Nautilus, but it, of course, has its own character in that it is on a rubber strap, which inherently makes it more sporty. There's not a whole lot of variations to it. You can break it down by complication. It goes time and date only, which is what you have here. They call it the sweep seconds. They have it in several different sizes, 40 and 42, and different dial colors and so on. And then they have the travel time, which is the 5164, and that one also is 40 millimeters, and they have several variations of that in rose gold or white gold. Even had it in steel before. And then they have the chronograph, which is a little bit bigger at 42 millimeters and is in steel and rose gold and white gold and you know, et cetera, et cetera. And then they have some ladies ones, which strangely enough, all the ladies ones, you would think that they would have much smaller size, but actually the ladies ones are 38.8, almost 39 millimeters, and the men's is 40 millimeters. Strange, actually. I could not really understand that, why they would make a men's one, actually it's 40.8, So I guess that's almost 40.1, 41 that is. But I still have a 0 in front of it. So 40, 41 millimeters for the men's and 38.8 for the women's, almost 39. It seems a little bit big for ladies, but I guess ladies like to wear stuff that's bigger, but who knows? Maybe they'll make a smaller Aquanaut for ladies. I think that it has to do with the size of the movement that they can't get the ladies Aquanaut down any smaller. But anyways, this is a review on the Sweep Seconds 5167 you see here. This is the entry level, basically, to answer the question of where this watch stands in the lineup. It's at the entry level. Okay, now I'll start talking about the case, starting with the size. The size, as I just stated, is 40.8. That's almost 41 actually. And the height, which is a very nice height actually, it's a profile, it's 8.1 millimeters. Not a very thick watch, which is a good thing because it can easily fit under a suit cuff and be very, very comfortable and thin and sleek. That is a very good thing for most people. Okay, and they call this dial, let's move on to the dial here. It's a black embossed dial. And as you can see, it has this interesting pattern, like a globe. And which brings me actually to the next part. Well, let me finish this by saying the dial, what is nice about the dial is it's much more luminous than the Aquanaut, or sorry, the Nautilus. The Aquanaut, which is what you see here, has very big luminescent on the hour markers as well as the hands. So it's unmistakable to tell what time it is. Very, very nicely you can see what time it is. Whereas on the Nautilus, it's a little bit harder. The luminescents are not quite so big. They do an old school luminescent here. They do like a blob. They have this sort of blob on the hour marker, which is kind of old school, but you know, Patek is 170 years old. So no surprise there. Traditional way they've done the luminescence. Who knows, maybe they'll change that in the future, but that's how it's done right now, and it still managed to look pretty nice. Okay, let's see, what should we just discuss next? That's the dial, time date only with time and date only. All right, date at the 3 o'clock. Now let's move on to the strap here. This is what's interesting. Now, some people might think, okay, the 5167, which is the date sweep seconds, the 1A on the reference number refers to the bracelet. You can actually take this bracelet off, and you can buy the strap. The strap is, I don't know, $500-700, and then the buckle is a few $1,000s, something like that. And we can do that for you. So if you buy this watch, well, let's say you have it on the metal strap, and you don't want to wear it on the metal strap. Now the metal strap does look cool, but of course, I think it does. We both have to agree that most people like it on the rubber strap. Why? Because it kind of integrates into the dial better. Look at the dial has this pattern. It's kind of like a globe, you know, or I don't know, these little checkered boxes here. They have this box shape, and that extends into the bracelet. And also, just a bracelet, it's cool. There's not that many watches like on a bracelet, and you know, for the time, especially for 2007, it was crazy. Like how many watches were on a rubber strap? Actually, I have to give it to both AP and Patek for coming out with watches that are on rubber straps and selling them for massive amounts of money, because nobody else was doing that. And I have to say, kind of, AP was the first, not kind of, they were the first on their offshore. And I have to say that probably Patek saw it, realized the opportunity, and copied it, because, well, we can't dispute who came out with it first, the offshore. But that doesn't mean that the Patek is any worse or better. It just means that they were second to market. And second to market doesn't necessarily mean bad. iPhones are also not first to market. They were not the first smartphones out there, but they certainly are the best. So it doesn't mean first to market is the best, but it is what it is. Okay, so you can take the bracelet off. It will fit as long as you get an original strap, and you can order the buckle. We can do that. And it can, and in this way, the watch you can actually wear either way. So that's pretty cool. All right, that is the bracelet, and the bracelet, as I showed you, is the metal bracelet. It can also be swapped out. It's just 2 pins. Let's move on to the movement here. Now the movement is a caliber 26-330SC-430. So what is nice about this movement? Well, it is their standard movement actually for the what do you call this? It's your standard movement for your time and date only. And yeah, it's a nice diameter here, 27 millimeters. It has a thickness of 3.3 millimeters, and it has a power reserve of 35 to 45 hours. To be honest, that's a little bit lacking. So I wonder if Patek will increase their power reserve in the next generation of watches, because AP and other Rolex and other major brands are all getting into the 70-hour power reserve, and Patek at that's 35 to 40. Well, let's see. Maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. Okay, but still, it's beautifully finished. It has a gold rotor. You can see it through the back, and still quite a fantastic looking watch. Interestingly, okay, I guess that's it. Let's get to the what my thoughts are. Okay, my thoughts are, well, Patek Philippe is one of the biggest and best watch brands in the world, right next to Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, and Rolex. Those are probably the 4 best watch brands at the moment, and probably will be for any foreseeable time. If you want a sports watch and a very clean, simple, thin, lightweight, beautiful, but high-end, this would be definitely it. The 5167. The price point on this watch is somewhere in the 50,000-60,000 for a watch like this. The retail price is actually only $25,000. It's crazy, but you're never getting this watch at retail unless you have a massive spend history at Patek. So forget about that. The secondary market does tell you what the watch is worth in comparison to other ones. That's how the market is calculated, by what somebody will pay, what the market can bear. And in this case, this watch around 50,000. So it's right up there with any other offshore. It's actually even more expensive than offshore, probably because there's not so many of them, and also the name, of course. I really like the Aquanaut. It's one of my favorite watches on rubber strap. I like that there's many variations, and so if your wrist size is, let's say, 7 inches or 7 1/4 or smaller, then I definitely would say this 5167 or the dual time would be good for you. If you have a wrist size of bigger, let's say, than 7.5, then I would say the 42 millimeters would actually be good for you. So you have to get the right size for the right watch. And if you want a rubber strap one, there's only 2 options if you have a smaller wrist size and you want to wear a 40 millimeter. It's either this one that you're looking at here or the travel time, which goes up quite a bit in price. So anyways, those are your decisions. Not a lot, either this one or the travel time. And it's a very beautiful looking watch. So if you want to get the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.